Hello everyone, I'm Phil Johnson. Let me begin with a simple question. Have you ever felt like you're not strong enough to handle what you're going through? Like everything around you feels heavy, uncertain, and beyond your control? Most people don't say it out loud, but almost everyone has felt that at some point. Not because they are weak, but because they are human. There are moments when life tests you in ways you never expected. And in those moments, doubt begins to grow quietly inside your mind. But today, I want to challenge that doubt because the truth is, you are stronger than you think. Not because life is easy, but because you have already survived things you once believed would break you. If you take a moment to look back at your life, you will realize that there are situations that felt impossible at the time, yet you made it through them. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not without pain, but you did. That itself is proof of your strength. The problem is, most of us don't recognize our strength when we are in the middle of a struggle. We only see our weaknesses, our fears, and our limitations. We focus on what we feel in the moment rather than what we have already overcome. Strength is often misunderstood. People think strength means confidence, control, or having everything figured out. But real strength is much quieter than that. Real strength is waking up and continuing even when you feel exhausted. It is choosing to try again after failure. It is staying committed when no one is watching and no one is encouraging you. Strength is not about being perfect. It is about not giving up. When you begin to understand this, your perspective starts to change. You stop waiting to feel strong and instead you start recognizing that you are already strong. Every time you keep going despite discomfort, you are proving it to yourself. One of the biggest reasons people underestimate their strength is because of comparison. We constantly look at others and assume they are doing better, handling things better, or living easier lives. But what we see is only the surface. We don't see their struggles, their doubts, or the effort behind their growth. Life is not a competition with others. It is a personal journey of growth. The only comparison that truly matters is who you were yesterday and who you are becoming today. Another reason we feel weak is because we rely too much on how we feel. Feelings are temporary. Some days you will feel confident and some days you won't. Some days you will feel motivated and some days you will struggle. But your ability is not defined by how you feel in a moment. You may feel tired, but you are still moving forward. You may feel uncertain, but you are still trying. You may feel like stopping, but you haven't stopped yet. That is strength. Sometimes the reason we don't see our strength is because we are too close to our struggles. When you are inside a difficult situation, everything feels bigger than it actually is. The pressure feels heavier, the problem feels permanent, and your mind convinces you that you cannot handle it. But when time passes and you look back, your perspective changes. You begin to see things more clearly. You realize that what once felt overwhelming was something you were capable of handling. The same thing is happening right now in your life. What feels difficult today will one day become something you understand with clarity. And when that moment comes, you will recognize the strength you are building right now. Strength is often developed in silence. It does not always come with recognition or applause. It grows quietly in your daily efforts, in your discipline, in your decision to keep going even when no one is watching. Because it is silent, many people think they are not progressing. But progress is not always loud. Sometimes it is simply the ability to handle things better than before. Sometimes it is staying calm where you once reacted. Sometimes it is continuing where you would have stopped earlier. These are signs of growth. These are signs of strength. We also need to understand the role of challenges in shaping us. Most people wish for a life without problems, but a life without challenges would not build anything meaningful. It would not develop resilience, discipline, or character. Challenges are not interruption to your life. They are part of your development. They are shaping you into a stronger, more capable person. When you begin to see challenges this way, your mindset changes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is this teaching me? That shift changes everything. It is also important to understand that strength is not the absence of fear. Fear is natural, doubt is natural, uncertainty is a part of growth. Strength is the ability to move forward despite those feelings. Everyone feels fear. The difference is in the response. Some people stop because of fear. Others continue despite it. And those who continue are the ones who grow. You do not need to have everything figured out to move forward. You do not need perfect confidence. What you need is the willingness to continue, even when things are unclear. Confidence is not something that comes before action. It is something that develops because of action. Every time you take a step forward, even a small one, you build trust in yourself. And that trust becomes confidence over time. Growth is not a straight path. There will be ups and downs, progress and setbacks, clarity and confusion. But none of that defines your potential. It is simply the part of the process. Consistency matters more than perfection. Showing up matters more than getting everything right. Continuing matters more than immediate results. When you focus on consistency, you allow yourself to grow without pressure. You give yourself the space to improve and evolve. It is also important to remember that you do not need external validation to recognize your strength. You do not need others to approve your journey. Your growth is your own, and your strength is something you experience within yourself. As you continue, you will start noticing changes. You will handle situations with more clarity. You will respond with more control. You will feel more stable even in uncertainty. That is real strength. It is not loud or dramatic. It is steady, grounded, and reliable. And over time, that strength transforms you. You become more patient, more focused, and more resilient. You begin to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. And one day, you will look back and realize that the person you once were is not the person you are anymore. That transformation does not happen suddenly. It happens through small, consistent effort over time. It happens every time you choose to continue instead of quitting. So instead of doubting yourself, start recognizing your progress. Instead of focusing on what you lack, focus on what you are building. Instead of questioning your strength, start trusting it. Because the strength you are looking for is already within you. It is not something you need to find. It is something you need to realize. Every challenge you face is not there to break you. It is there to build you. It is preparing you for a stronger, more capable version of yourself. So whatever you are going through right now, do not run away from it. Face it with patience. Face it with effort. Face it with belief. Because this moment is not the end of your story. It is a part of your growth. And one day, when you look back, you will not see weakness, you will see strength. You will see how far you have gone, how much you have endured, and how much you have grown. You will realize that you were never as weak as you thought. You were stronger than you believed, and you still are. Thank you. Bye.